My name is Jasmine Proctor. I am the owner of Unilum Wellness LLC. I also work at True North Psychological Services in therapy. So I work primarily with adults and couples, serving a wide range, mostly high achieving and creative folks who struggle with imposter syndrome, low self esteem, struggle to get those business ideas off the ground, and sometimes feel really stuck. My goal is to support them in showing up and building an aligned business.
Wonderful. I can't wait to just dig into more of what you do. Take me back to how you got started in all of this. Tell me how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, so I went to grad school at Hood College in person. And as I was finishing out my master's degree, I was like, okay, I want to be a therapist and I want to build a career. Like, I want to build something that sustains me. And so that's when I started exploring content creation and then podcasting. And so I've been in the podcast space for almost 3 years, and the Visibility Standard was born. I really enjoyed interviewing other wellness owners, business owners who are building something really unique and really authentic, and getting their insight and expertise has just been so valuable.
Okay, really exciting. Kind of getting out on those online platforms.
Mhm.
You with that, you wear many hats: visibility strategist, therapist, and podcast host. Can you kind of share your journey, how your journey in the mental health world ultimately led you to expand into visibility coaching and personal branding work?
Absolutely. So I actually started off as a mental health tech. I've worked in various mental health settings. I started off working with severe mental illness. So, folks who needed support in building day to day schedules, folks who needed support with grocery shopping and med management. Then I transitioned over into a case management role for a quasi government housing authority. And that gave me the insight into what social media management looked like. I slowly built their online visibility, attending events, going to campaign events, and then I was like, okay, I want to go to grad school. Went to grad school, and again, therapy was always in the mix. And then learning what visibility offered me, not only as a professional, but personal development, friendships, a wide network of folks who are aligned in what they value and what they believe in, and serving people was so instrumental. And I really want to support other people in doing that and having a personal brand, and doing the groundwork that I support other people in doing allows me to better support other people.
Absolutely. It's really fascinating how where we start and how it transitions into these other phases and layers of life that we flourish in. And with that, you're known for creating a space that blends warmth and accountability. What do your clients often say they value most about working with you in that type of supportive container?
Consistency, and presence. But I would say presence is the biggest one. Being able to show up and offer a space for someone to not have to perform, to be themselves, to just kind of let their shoulders down and share in a safe container where they can feel seen, heard, challenged, validated, all of the valuable things. And so, one of the best things that I love being able to offer my clients is presence.
For sure. And to pivot a little bit, you've built a clear philosophy around visibility as something deeper than showing up on. How do you personally define visibility, and why do you think so many therapists, creatives, and founders struggle to claim it?
Yeah. I define visibility as being able to resonate with your audience, feeling for your audience to hear you or see you, and see a part of their story in you, whether that's struggling with perfectionism, struggling with being seen, even on a social level, like hiding from your friendships, maybe hiding from your relationships. Visibility is the I say the segue to leadership. It's a jumping off point that I don't think a lot of us really think about, but it also allows us to build our own idea of leadership.
For sure. I love the point you made about that kind of that jumping off idea. Once you kind of begin that journey, you can really be able to broadcast your
Mhm.
values and your opinions to a wider range of people. And let's talk about your coaching work as well. When a creator or entrepreneur comes to you feeling unsure of how to build a brand outside of their 9 to 5 or a direct service role, where do you usually begin with them?
Mindset. It's dismantling everything that we have learned about marketing as service providers, because a lot of it is centered around how we can support our clients. And I think that is so important. And if we are not nurturing ourselves as professionals, we're not going to be able to offer the best care. And so, what does it mean to show up in a way that's authentic for you? A lot of people feel like, okay, they need to be great on TikTok or need to know all the trends, but it's what is a mission or vision that anchors you? And what does it look like to share that with the world? So, breaking down those limiting beliefs of the fear of being seen, the fear of being perceived by others, and then building that vision from the ground up.
Very interesting. A major theme in your brand is legacy, encouraging people to build something beyond their job title. What does legacy through visibility mean to you?
It Oh man, that's a good question. It means creating a body of work that sustains any trend, any piece of what I may do in the present. It's a body of my creative process throughout my lifetime, really, and throughout my work, and being able to not only share that with others, but bring other people into that space and collaborate in building something really wonderful with them as well is so valuable. And so, legacy for me is being able to uplift a community of people and for people to see my work and say, okay, I see myself, and if she can do it, then I can do it too.
It's super encouraging to be able to inspire like-minded people to kind of get on the same
Hmm.
wavelength.
Yeah.
Very cool. On your podcast, The Visibility Standard, you explore visibility strategies for authentic branding. What inspired you to really start this show, and what conversations are you most excited to bring to listeners?
So it originally started off as a mental health podcast, All Our Parts. I was bringing on therapists, and I recognized a lot of service providers and therapists, wellness coaches were diving into the work that they do for others, but they weren't talking about themselves. And I'm like, I want to hear about you. I want to hear about what you're doing. And I realized the title of the show and the branding of the show was eliciting how we can support other people. But I realized what was really exciting me was hearing other people's stories, how they built a product, built apps, created their business from spaces of burnout or feeling misaligned with the companies that they were working with, and turning that into fuel to build something much deeper for themselves and the people that they serve. And so to answer your question about the conversations that most excite me, it's people who are so gracious and willing to show up vulnerably as well, share their story of how they got started, and share tips for other people who are finding themselves in that in between space of this is not what I'm going to do forever, but it feels really hard to get to where I want to be.
For sure. It sounds like such a safe and inspiring space to just really hear other people's experience and see how you can relate to it and what you can take from it to better
Mhm.
yourself.
That's the goal.
Wonderful. And many therapists and helping professionals are navigating the idea of developing a public brand. What shifts are you seeing in the industry regarding therapists showing up online with professional self expression?
Absolutely. I believe one of the biggest lessons that I've learned this year in being visible and showing up online is our clients are consuming mental health or wellness information in such a different way. And the providers that they're looking for human, like providers who are people who are a little messy, who show up, and having a personal brand and showing up online saves a lot of the guesswork that comes with finding a provider that can really meet your needs. Like if this person talks about relationships, like, okay, great. I know this provider has a lot of information on relationships and maybe even shares their story of how they've messed up in their relationships. That's where that shame and judgment hopefully dismantles. And so we as providers, I think that is we can't hide behind our credentials anymore or degrees. Like we really need to show up as people if we want to hit the curve of where I believe like wellness support is headed.
Such a great point you make about showing up as a human because authenticity is key,
Hmm.
especially in this field of work. So being able to provide that personalized experience to any and all, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
You are consistent and intentional in the way you show up for your clients and your community. What personal values guide the way you approach visibility work and support the people that you coach?
Yeah, authenticity, but also, man, that was a good one. Give me a second. I think being able ownership is another really big value that I have when it comes to my work. Anytime I show up online, anytime I choose to show up in session with someone that I'm working with, the belief is that I am taking ownership of what I choose to share publicly or in session or and choosing to take ownership of my work as well. I don't believe in I think if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna go all in. And being in that halfway space of your work, or that indecisive space can be really challenging, but ownership is really important to me.
I love that mindset of all or nothing. Jasmine is going to show up for you and she's going to give it 110%. And that's wonderful.
Absolutely. If I am there, I am there, and we are in it together 100%.
Very cool. Very awesome. And, you've talked about wanting to expand beyond online content and host more in-person events. And you recently hosted a networking event that you loved. What motivates you to lean into community building, and what kind of experience or energy do you hope to create with the two upcoming events you're planning for March and February?
Yeah, so I hosted an event in like the Tyson's Corner area, and it was so amazing to get professionals together in person. Like being able to connect, especially like post COVID at a time where everything was so online. I think a lot more people are gravitating to in person. And as much as I value online community, I believe that in person community is equally as important. And so starting in the top of 2026, I plan to offer pretty consistent in-person events starting in the Loudoun County area in February. Then I'll be heading back to my old stomping grounds in Frederick, Maryland in March. And so I hope people stay tuned for what's to come. I'm really excited to bring hopefully a fresh networking space to our community.
Wonderful. I have no doubts. I'm so excited for you and I can't wait to hear all about it. For creators or service-based entrepreneurs who feel stuck or invisible, what mindset shifts do you believe are essential before strategy even comes into play?
One of the biggest mindset shifts that I have been sitting with is that everything can change tomorrow. And so when I go to post something or I go to work with a client or I go to have an opportunity, being really present and grateful with what's in front of me, knowing that at any given moment, things can really shift tomorrow to something bigger, something greater. And so navigating gratitude for presence without feeling stagnant, while also staying really committed to the vision and the mission for the future.
Absolutely. That's another great point. I think as we progress, we are always hoping to get to the next level, get to the next step, but
Mm.
it's really important to just take a step back and think, look how far I've came and I really wanted to be here
Mhm.
when I wasn't. And
Yeah,
so you kind of can just soak in it and it's wonderful.
absolutely. I think one of the cons to being online is seeing how other people are progressing, and then that comparison trap starts to make you feel like, okay, maybe I'm not doing that. Maybe I'm not doing as great as I feel. And then when we anchor ourselves and come back to what we are building and recognizing like Rome wasn't built in a day, it's like, man, I've come a long way and I might not be where I want to be, but I'm definitely in the spot that I've always dreamed of, no matter what.
For sure. And everybody starts at a different place. Very cool, very cool. You've built consistently on social media, YouTube, your podcast, and now you're starting a newsletter. How has content creation personally shaped your confidence, your message, and even your career direction over the last 2 years?
Yeah, so I can offer a little take on the newsletter. We are building the Clinical 411. Dr. Jennifer Kaufman Walker and I are building, again, fresh is the first word that comes to mind, but a newsletter that brings our community together, allows us to interact with them and for them to interact with us. The newsletter is a hope to get information out there about modalities and everything that's happening, but also offering business trends, like how to stay ahead of the curve and how to continue building and growing in your business. So I'm really excited to bring our newsletter to life and to work together in that space.
Definitely, it sounds like a great way to get the 411, the scoop, and
Hmm.
just a great place to tune in to get good insights and advice.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, what are your goals for the visibility standard and your visibility coaching in 2026? And how do you hope your work continues to support and empower your community?
I hope that my work continues to inspire folks who feel like it's a lot to be visible, that they recognize that now more than ever, we need them to be visible. We need their voice to be heard. We need them to show up because what they offer, their perspective, it can feel like the world already has so many voices, but I promise you 100% they do not have your voice. They don't have what you have to bring to the online space. And your dream client is literally looking for you. That's something that I always tell my clients is your dream client is looking for you, and if you're hiding, they're not gonna be able to find you. And so the goal is to continue to empower folks, whether it's through working together or through content that they deserve to be visible.
Absolutely. Empowering is such a perfect word for this. It's so important to acknowledge that we can take up space, we can put ourselves out there.
Mhm.
It's a great message, and I love what you're standing for. As we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to add that I didn't touch on today?
No, this was an amazing interview. Thank you so much for having me. Again, we have so many exciting things coming up, both myself and with Jennifer. And so I'm really excited to start bringing that out to the forefront more and hope everyone stays tuned.
Absolutely. I'm super excited for you guys. I want to thank you again so much, Jasmine, for joining me on the podcast today. It was a pleasure to hear your inspiring story, and I wish you the best of luck in all that comes your way in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.